You are a biotechnologist, right? So how does the biotechnology work? Just like I explained. Right? So this is called Vedantic technology. It's not bio, it's Vedantic technology. Five elements. Five elements are coming out of the five greater elements. Five greater elements are coming out of five tanmatra. Five tanmatras are coming from Mahatattva or big mind. The big mind is coming out of Hiranyagarbha. Loosely speaking, the golden egg, the golden womb. Hiranya means gold, Garbha means womb. So the golden womb of intelligence, and that is coming, or should I say, that is existing because of the absolute existence of Brahm. Now, if we look it from the other side, from individual side, from micro side, forget the macro, let's go for the micro. What is shape and form of the mind? What is shape and form of the intellect? The memories are held in the mind at the deeper level of subconscious. The subconscious is further connected with the supra macro consciousness. The supra macro consciousness is supported by the absolute existence. So before we go into understanding the universe outside, we need to first understand what is here in this micro format. So when we say Karana Sharir or the causal body, then it just means in micro, it is the subconsciousness is getting formed from that, and that is causal body. There are many people who these days are talking about everything is in the consciousness, everything is because of consciousness, everything is from the consciousness. But I am not saying it is from the consciousness. The consciousness is just one streak. See, Vedanta says mind, intellect, subconscious, and ego. Four functions or four modalities, four functions are happening in one, which is called Antakaran. Anta means inner, Karan means a medium to connect with the external and the internal world. Now, this chitta, subconscious, this mind, this intellect, this ego, these four functions are happening because of the micro causal body. And in macro, that will be called, loosely speaking, big mind. You know, the white community is very happy by using this word. Why? The big mind. The astrophysicists are more happy by calling it the quantum subconsciousness, which has its subtributaries getting its expression in the form of the individuals. Let's say your mind is different from hers, her mind is different from his mind is different from. So if there are, say, 1,050,000,000 people in India alone, that means that many numbers of minds are there. But from where did the mind arise? Now, mind and the subconscious, actually, there are two facets of one thing. The gross form is called the mind, and the subtle form can be called the subconsciousness. And that is happening. Why? Because in the micro, if I go, then it is because the sum total of the conditionings, the karmas, the actions, the impressions, the desires, the objectives, the goals created in your gross mind has support in the subconscious, is being supported by the causal body. Causal body can be easily said the cause of the mind, cause of the intellect, cause of the subconsciousness, cause of the ego. So this is one of the sheaths of self. So sheath of the causal body, sheath of the subtle body, sheath of the gross body. Sthula sharir, sukshma sharir, karana sharir. So a lot is to be explored and known and researched about what this mind is. Then comes the question what this subconsciousness is. Then the question will arise from where is it coming out? So there are no simple answers which I can give you. So you have to dig deeper into this. As such, what is mind? It's sum total of your thoughts, dreams, emotions, conditionings, prejudices, greeds, perceptions. Now, nothing is gross. But your whole gross world is formed because of this. If somebody is a communist, if somebody is a socialist, if somebody is a democrat, if somebody is a conservative, if somebody is an atheist, if somebody is a theist, if somebody is an antagonist, it is just the definitions of what kind of mind that person is holding. And should I say, what kind of nurturing this person received in one's childhood. Now, the Abrahamic religion are talking about this just one birth, nothing before it and nothing after it. But the Buddhism, the Hinduism, the Sikhism, the Jainism, these major religions are saying, no, this is not your first birth. There had been many, many thousands and thousands before this. So you have the sum total collection of all those experiences embedded in, let's say, one neuron of your brain or one wave of your subconsciousness. Physically speaking, the hardware of the human body is so wonderful system that each neuron in your brain can hold information worth a whole library, maybe. If you begin to pen it down, all what you have seen, all what you have heard, all what you have smelled, all what you have tasted, all what you have touched, all what you have imagined, all what you have experienced in past or present or you would do in the future. What would be the number of the total these things what I'm talking about? It will be like a matrix. It will be like a matrix. Now you have to become the oracle to understand this matrix. You really, really have to be an extra intelligent and wise to be that. And that is what the job of an realized master is, to pave the way of this intelligentsia amongst those who are eager to know what the truth is, what the reality is. So this is not something which is for idiots. This is not for someone who has a low IQ. And this is not for something which you can just merely believe, like believing in a faith. It is not a faith. It is involution. It is a research. It is a very extensive research. It is a very extensive study, which is very subjective. And you really have to give a lot of time to it to finally crack the code of your own mind. See, you hear all the great things. But when it comes to put things into action, you behave like a stupid common person. How come that's happening? What are the reasons? Needs to be evaluated. But you people are so busy in understanding and researching about materials and minerals and politics and economics and whatnot. But you are least concerned about what's happening in your own mind. So you never mind the mind. And hence your mind becomes your greatest enemy. It's like, if I put it in uh, animated way, then the image of your own mind becomes the architect of the life which you will live. And this is an illusionary architect, got created from the mind. And then one part of the mind is going to suffer for all that nonsense which this mind is going to do. So in a way, I believe not bipolar, tri, quadruple, or maybe million times your mind is able to divide itself and create such a confusion and such a mess of your lives. So when will you mind the mind? So when we say the causal body is from where the mind got created. Created is not an apt word. Created is not a correct word. Or should I say, it's like the world which you see in the dreams is so real, but until that dream is happening. That's reality for you. But once you wake up, where does this whole world go? And some dreams can be so vivid and so dangerous and so nightmarish that people can have a heart attack just by watching the dream, which their own mind created. So the illusion of the dream, which seems to be a reality, just keep this fundamental principle in your head. So when you are seeing this external world, is a replica of that dream again, created by the mind, and mind alone is suffering. So Adi Shankaracharya in Atma Bodh is talking about the causal body, and there is just maybe one shloka alone, just one shloka about it, because this is going to get so subtle and so difficult to absorb. Hence, the need of working first onto the layer of the mind is the question. How much can you work on your mind first? And Shankar is giving us the methodology and the strategies which one should follow. For a sadhak, for a spiritual aspirant, he has given these details. So Atmabodh is a beautiful scripture. It tells you step by step by step by step what to do, how to do. So once you understand the system of Vedanta, you can't just do a lip service in Vedanta. You have to, head down into it. You have to dive deeper into it. Otherwise, as Kabir Sahib says, Jin khoja tin paiyan, gehre pani pair. Those found it who went deeper into it. Main bori dubandari. And I was so scared of drowning. Rahi kinare baith. And I just kept sitting on the banks and I could never get those pearls of wisdom which one can receive, but only when you dive deeper into it. And diving deep into the mind means diving into the causal body, from where this mind got its expression. The sense of I which you have is also happening because of the reflection of the real self into the mind. So, what you say I am, that is just a reflected self. That's not the real self. But this illusionary reflected self seems to be the truth. Even that is something very difficult to understand. For people, the reality is they see the body as me. That's it. I am so and so, my name is so and so, that's my age, that's my gender, that's my degree, that's my education, that's my family, that's my country, that's my religion, and it's all related to the reflected and illusionary self, not the real one. So, how the hell this first time illusion started? Why did it started? What to do about that? So, to understand this, the method of the Vedanta has to be employed. Our sages, our rishis were, I would say, the scientists of the truth who found the reality by peeling the layers of the gross world and the subtle world and the causal world and came to the realization of what the true self is or what God is, precisely speaking. It has nothing to do with faith. It has a system. You may call it scientific system. You may call it a very logical system, but there is no space or room for faith over here. It is just the faith has this much role that you need to create that love bond with the master, with the guru, that what the guru or the what the scripture is saying is a reality, and now I have to explore it on my own. So guru can be like a guide. If someone is doing a PhD, they have a guide who coaches how to do. That is job of the guru in this Vedantic world. All hard work is done by the student, but the coach tells you which way to go, which way not to go. Is it acceptable or not acceptable? Like in a PhD, you can't do plagiarism. Your thesis will not be accepted. Similarly, in Vedanta, just mere listening to the Vedantic words and repeating thus is called plagiarism, isn't accepted. I am Sachidanand, it's a plagiarism at the moment. It's not your reality, it's not your experience. But the question is, are you doing something to change this into your own experience? Otherwise, the children play a game called Monopoly, where they have fake currency, fake houses, fake stuff. So it's played in between like 2 or 4 people at one time. And it's a fake currency, it's a fake house, and fake losses and fake profits. And at the end, the one who's saying, I'm a winner, has a huge amount, but that amount is all fake. So you can be a fake Vedantist and you can be a real Vedantist. Like you can be a fake disciple and you can be a real disciple. Similarly, you can be a fake guru and you can be a real guru. So being a real disciple is a hard work. People don't want to do that. Hence, they are very happy Googling about Vedanta, reading certain books, cramming up certain teachings of certain people, and then with their bloated and gloated chests, they are claiming that, oh, I know the truth. I know the truth. It's a sheer spiritual plagiarism. But this is a very intensive and very subjective research matter. It's a matter of observation. And the Guru teaches you what to observe. And there are those, the final conclusions of all the researches are already there in Upanishad, in Gita. But Guru takes you like step by step by step. Now the question is, are you going to walk on those steps or just hear about those steps? Mostly people just hear and they're very happy just to hear and say, oh, Guru Maharaj does a great satsang. What a talk. But they won't walk the talk. So sometimes I'm talking to deaf people. There is a old mystical statement and it says, I am selling mirror in a village where everybody is blind. Who will buy that? I'm selling mirrors to village of blind. What kind of business would this be? So it's all about first listening and then going deeper into it to understand. And just for the mind alone, just for the mind and the subconscious alone, there is again related scripture, and that's Patanjali Yoga Sutra. That's why I say, if you really want to understand, then you have to combine the study of these both great scriptures. That's Patanjali Yoga Sutra on one side, to understand the mind and the subconscious and diseases of the mind and the steps to move about on the path. And then you need the any Vedantic scripture, could be Bhagavad Gita or could be any Upanishad or could be any Prakaran Granth given by Adi Shankaracharya, either. So these two has to be your staple. And let me say, one life isn't enough actually to go totally deeper into it. Well, when somebody is doing a master's, how many hours they study? How many hours did you study while doing your biotechnology master's? 5 years per day, how many hours? Lots of hours. I need that much. I need that much time. I need that much dedication. Now, families and banks will give you loan to do the studies, to pay the tuition and to do the expenses, daily expenses of a student. So banks are giving the loans and sometimes family are supporting and the student is giving so many hours. And finally, after 5 years or 6 years, gets a degree. But what I am teaching, who is going to fund you? Who is going to fund you and who is going to give that much time? And it seems so useless. Because if I don't know what my real self is, what are you losing? Nothing. Doing job, making houses, making children, getting married, having parties, having vacations, having shopping sprees and whatnot. So nobody is lacking anything if they don't go into this path of searching one's own reality. So it's the most unwanted stuff what I am offering. You won't become a millionaire or billionaire by listening to me. But yes, of course, what I'm teaching, if you grasp it totally, then here millionaires and billionaires are maybe going to confess it and maybe not, and that is the shallowness and the uselessness of their life and their achievements. So in a way, they have everything and yet they have nothing. But this path of knowledge, this Vedantic path, physically speaking, you won't attain anything, not even awakening of Kundalini. No. And yet, this is something which will complete the purpose of your life and give you that sheer contentment and knowledge And just not knowledge, you will know it by your experience. You become a person of knowing, not just listening. But worldly speaking, it has no value at all. So someone was once saying, I don't have time to waste to come to ashram. Ah, yes, I said, of course. Even I have no time to waste on fool like you. Good riddance. Please don't come. I'm not awaiting you with the garland in my hand. No. It's something which not everybody is going to value or understand the value of it. So most Indians believe you have to have a guru. Okay, have a guru and that's forget it. Have a guru, make a someone your guru, and then forget it and go into your mundane stuff which you are doing. That's not the case with me. That isn't going to happen with me. With me, I require your commitment. I require your dedication. And I require enough brains to understand what I'm saying. But you know what? As you were just saying a little while ago, that I met you like in 2002 or 3, I heard you first time. And now it's 2024. And now you are realizing the value and worth of the knowledge what I'm giving. And in between, you got your degrees, you got married, you had children, you were doing job, you made your house, you all that stuff which is there being in USA. And now you are realizing that how important this was. And I still would say this, that I appreciate your guts that you had just 5 days holidays and you have traveled from Washington to India to be here with me for 5 days. You will go back, and this is your second trip in this very year. And you're coming back in November again. How you are doing it, that's pretty adventurous of you. But it's about going deeper into what I'm saying. That's the reason one subject Vedanta, and I have done multiple scriptures one by one, so that I am giving so many perspectives and angles and ways and anecdotes and stories and whatnot, so that you understand what the truth is about this whole universe and your own presence and your own being and the being, the divinity and everything.